Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to this new workshop on our brand new challenge, Wind Design. This is a challenge to redesign the wind turbines of the future. My name is Sara Rostini. I work at Enel in innovation, and today, with my colleagues, I will get you through this challenge, which is about design and environmental integration of our turbines. Um, just a few information about some technicalities of this workshop today. So for the participants, the webcam and the microphones are set on off. I have started the recording that will be available on our YouTube channel. We will be together for about an hour. So for the first 30 minutes, we will deep dive into the challenge, giving you details, and then the last 20 minutes, we will answer the questions received during the presentation. So my suggestion it is to start writing your questions during the presentation. You can write your question into the Q&A section, and you can use, as you prefer, English or Spanish and Italian. So we will translate the question in English for you in case. This is the agenda. So I will give you a very quick introduction to the Enel Group and Open Innovability. Then we will go straight to this contest, so to the WinDesign challenge, and then entering more in details of the wind turbine generators. And we'll close the presentation with a recap of the timeline and next steps. And then, of course, the Q&A. So I want to do this quickly in order to leave to my colleagues the right space or the time to enter into details of this challenge. So here are just some numbers about Enel, and this doesn't want to be a kind of show off of what Enel is, but sometimes not all people knows that Enel is, as it is called, an integrated utility. It means that we manage all the value chain from the generations through the distribution, the energy distribution, and then the trading and the delivery to the customers. So we have a global presence in 28 countries. We are the world's largest player in renewables, the first network operator, and the largest retail customer. And we have the largest retail customer base worldwide. So the message that I want to pass to you, it is how important could be for us your participation in this challenge. Okay, because of course we have wind turbines all over the world. And about innovability. So our approach to innovation is an open innovation approach. It means that we leverage a huge ecosystem of partners, of customers, our suppliers, institutions, our colleagues, of course, startups, in order to get solutions to our main business needs. Okay, and to go faster together and reach the objective. Just to give you a number, yearly we analyze more than 2,000 solutions. Then so how we do that? So we have different tools, but one of these, and it is the one that you will use to participate in this challenge, it is openinnovability.com, which is our digital open door, open to anyone to collect solutions. It means that in this platform, you can find our challenges. We have run more than 230 challenges since 2017 and received solutions from more than 120 countries. And so here you can find the challenges, read them, read the regulation, download any useful attachment, and provide us your solution. So directly to this portal, you get in contact with us. And so we will evaluate all the solutions and get back to you with feedbacks. So it's a little spoiler, but of course, this will be the door to enter into this challenge. Now, let's talk about this challenge. I pass the word to Eduardo Oliven in order to introduce to you the contest. Eduardo, to you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this challenge, to the Design Innovation Contest. I'm really happy to be with all of you with such a big number. We are more than 70 people today in this call of innovators and designers that are going to brought on the table new and fresh ideas. As we were telling you, Enel is looking for new ideas and solutions for the wind turbines design that can be integrated in four pillars: functionality, aesthetics, innovation, and sustainability. These four pillars are of the essence for us and will have to be taken into account in the design proposals that you are going to submit. What about the framework? How is going the contest to be structured? We're looking for revolutionary ideas that will shape the future of wind energy, and the contest will have two phases. In the first phase, you will submit your conceptual proposal managed through the Open Innovability platform that you already know because some of you have already been working with. And in this first phase, as we were saying, you will submit your conceptual proposal. Then, if selected into the second phase, you will develop a detailed design. And we must remember that every idea advancing from phase 1 to phase 2 will receive 5,000 euros as preliminary funding to develop the detailed design of the idea. Now let's look a little at the timeline and mark these dates carefully. The phase one will run from the 2nd of April, was already initiated, until the 16th of June, and we'll have a preliminary price, as we were saying, of 5,000 euros. The second phase will go from July 1st to September 29th, after the selection of the proposals that will pass from phase 1 to phase 2. The rewards are very interesting, as we will have a first prize of 250k euros, a second prize of 150,000 euros, and a third prize for the third proposal of 50,000 euros. We will have also special rewards of 15,000 euros each for the excellence in three categories: design, technical and economical feasibility, and innovation and sustainability. We should remember that special awards are not cumulative with the main prizes. So if you win the first prize with 250,000 euros, even if you win, for instance, the design special reward, the total prize will only be 250,000 euros. Who can participate? This contest is open to students or recent graduates from engineering, architecture or design universities, professional architects, designers, engineers, research institutions and universities, but also companies and the startups. So we want to be very open to every professional that has some say about innovation and that wants to share with us innovative and fresh ideas. You can enter individually or in teams up to 3 people. And the registration link is available here in this QR that we will share with you. so you can join to participate. So this is more or less the main framework of the of the tender of the contest. And now I will like to leave the floor to my colleague Olga Santos that will speak about the current status of wind turbine generators and what we are looking for in this contest.
Okay, thanks, Eduardo. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Olga Santos. I'm the head of the Wind Center of Excellence. And okay, if you can go ahead, let's talk about the wind turbine generators. This is a very wide overview on the wind turbine generators. No, a wind turbine generator is acronym is WTG. It's a machine that produces energy by means of converting the kinetic energy into electricity using the wind to turn blades, and inside rotate a generator that produces the electricity itself. The main components that we can extract from a wind turbine, there's a bunch of them, but the main ones are, or unless as we split the wind turbine, are the blades, the nacelle, and the tower. Three blades compose a rotor, and in the center of the rotor, if you see this little nose, is the hub of the wind turbine. Okay, so in the industry, there are several wind turbine types, but what our objective here is a three-blade rotor with horizontal axis in large-scale wind turbines. So big unitary power of the wind turbine, and additionally to highlight is onshore wind turbine, the one that we are looking for. The aerodynamics of the aspect se puede andar a cola. The aerodynamics of the blades define the. Espera, if you can go to the one previous, please, Sarah. The aerodynamics of the blade is ownership of its. If you can go to the previous one, please, Sarah.
Okay.
This one, thank you. The shape of the blades is defined by its manufacturer, and the airfoil is very important for the production of the wind turbine. It's linked to the power curve and the producibility that the wind turbine can produce. No? So at the end of the day, it is absolutely not the aim of the tender to change the shape of the blade or the number. Afterwards, we can have a little view on the nacelle. The main function is to allocate the internals of the wind turbine, mechanical and electrical components such as gearbox, generator, converter, blah, blah, blah. Also, the inside of the nacelle is not objective of the tender, and the tower is one of the main structural components that support the rotor and the nacelle at a certain height, and the height we will see towards. If you can go ahead, please, Sarah. Now we split here the main components and deep dive a little bit on each one of them. The blaze is one of the biggest components. It's divided in different sections. The tip, the one more, if you can point out, the tip is outside of the blade, the midsection, and the root is the part that will be joined to the nacelle. The joint of the blade to the nacelle is performed by tension bolts that can be removed for maintenance purposes or for removal of the complete blade, if, for instance, something breaks. The material that creates the blade needs to be very light because it's a massive, a very long component, and the weight is important. So as the material is very light, need to have inside some components that are called webs to make the structure more strong. And the blade itself has two edges, that is the leading edge and the trailing edge, with dependence of the angle of attack of the wind. With regards to the blade, very important for our tender here, for our challenge. It is not the scope of the challenge to change the number of the blades, so 3 is mandatory to contain on the proposal, and the shape of the blade doesn't need to be changed because this is the scope of the wind turbine manufacturer. If you see the two little wind turbines that we have put here in blue, there are the loads. Try to explain that the green lines are the gravitational loads, and the red ones are the ones that are provoked by the wind blowing. The second main macro component is the nacelle. As we were telling before, is a little the space where you put all the internals, mechanical and electrical components. It is not the scope of our tender to change mechanical or electrical components because this is designed for making the productivity of the turbine, so not the aesthetics or the integration with the environment. The design of the nacelle among the years has been changing towards a much productable or functional aesthetic. Let's say, like at the beginning of the 90s, the nacelle was very, let's say, fancy or nice, more aerodynamic. But with the years, it has become like two containers attaching together, and that's it. The main function is only to allocate the components. Well, only. And the last main macro component is the tower that is divided into different sections. You will always have a top section, the bottom section, and the middle ones. How many sections you will have, it will depend on the hub height. If you remember well the little nose, the hub height is this, the distance from the hub to this position to the ground. The sections will depend on how high you need to go, and the height will be intimately linked to the wind blowing in a specific site. If you have a wind profile that makes profitable to go higher, you will go higher and have more sections. Here, vale, the sections are joined by flanges and by bolted joints, and there are several types of turbines. So tubular ones, segment, lattice, concrete, hybrid. The main function here is to make the nacelle and the rotor stay at a certain height and transfer the electricity that is produced inside the nacelle towards the internal of the tower to the foundation into the collector system to be burned to the grid. If you can go to the next one, please, Sarah. Vale, this slide is very important for everybody that want to participate in the challenge because it's specified. It is everything is contained in the technical specifications that we really indicate or beg you to read carefully. Here, the standards and requirements that are mandatory to comply with. All the proposals will need to comply with these 4 little groups. Design standards, type of turbine, technical boundaries, and environmental aspects. The design standards, 2 main ones, the IEC 61400 and the ICAO, which is the International Aviation Organization. All the proposals need to be compliant unless with those regulations. The type of turbine that need to be developed, the proposal is in a typical one, let's say in large scale, no? So a wind turbine composed by blades, nacelle, hub, and tower, and the 3-blade rotor and horizontal axis. This is mandatory. And the ranges of the turbine is rate power between 5 and 6, so large scale, no mini eolica, large scale. The rotor diameter between 150 and 175, and the hub height from the terrain to the hub between 90 and 120. The technical boundaries, already told before, but to make sure that the performance, normal performance, the power generation of the wind turbine is not compromised, not implementing wakes, not reducing the power curve. So let the wind turbine to perform like it was as its own proposed from the beginning. So not changing the internals, that's the reason why, and no modifications on blade shape and number, and no modifications on mechanical and electrical inner components. Environmental aspects to be considered are the guidelines in the International Finance Corporation, and it is important also not to implement surfacings on the elements and can be used as perches for birds and bats because we need to take a lot of care of the bird life, and to improve the perception of the wind turbine through better landscape integration, including the use of coatings. If you can please go ahead. Okay, so at the end of the day, this is the same that Eduardo was explaining before. What do we expect? Okay, we have a challenge with 2 phases. We are searching for ideas, innovative, integrating innovative solutions and landscaping and so on, and make the wind turbine maybe, hopefully, more beautiful. So at the end of the day, the proposals accepted on phase 1 will pass to the second one. In phase 1, which is the objective? objective. Okay, we need to understand your proposals. So it's not that you need to develop a super deep dive detail, but enough detail in order to be evaluated, properly evaluated. And the declaration of compliance with the constraint as specified in the technical specifications, paragraph 2, is mandatory to be delivered. If you go to the right in the deliverables block, there are 3 different blocks for phase 1: technical documents, economic and timeline documents, and administrative documents. The technical ones, as we were saying, a descriptive technical report that doesn't need to go very into the detail, but detail enough to understand the proposal, to properly evaluate it, because otherwise we won't be able to evaluate. And we are also asking for a rendering with related photos. This is to be able to understand the integration with the landscape and the environmental, to see how it will look like. And okay, the second block is the economic and timeline documents. Again, not with a super detail, this will come in the second phase, but we need a preliminary economic estimation and a preliminary design roadmap in order to have a range on the cost that the proposal will implement, and additionally a roadmap with regards to the time when it will be implemented. And what the last block that we called administrative document, which is the declaration of compliance that we talked before, a declaration, signed declaration of the compliance with the requirements. Okay, and the second phase, we will talk about that in further workshops, but the second phase is intended to further develop the idea and to provide deeper detail on the proposed solution. The evaluation main drivers will be always the same for the complete tender, for the phase 1, phase 2, special prices, all the same idea. So increase environmental and landscape integration, technical and functional feasibility to ensure market standard performance. Remember about the not implementing waste, not reducing production. This is important for us because we install wind turbine generators to produce electricity. And the flexibility of use. So your proposal will be able to be implemented by any of the wind turbine manufacturers on the market. And the last one, economic sustainability, simplicity of construction and maintenance, because otherwise it won't be feasible. If you can go ahead, please, Sarah. Vale, and this is the last one, conclusions and challenge scope. A little sum up of what we have talked before. No, there are three macro components that are blades, nacelle, and towers, but not all of them, or not all of the what possible to do with them are a scope of our challenge. No, the blades are the main component with regards to aerodynamics and the production of the wind turbine. So it is not possible to change the number and the shape of the blades. Whatever else you might invent, it's okay, it's welcome. The nacelle is very dependent on each one of the manufacturers. The development of the nacelle design has been changing towards a cost reduction, and we understand this is a customizable component that always in compliance with the requirements can be changed. And the last one is the tower. What we said before, no, the tower type selection is very linked to the site specific of the project, the wind blowing in on a specific site, but there's a lot of optimization here, no? At the end of the day, what happens with this is a main structural components for allocating the nacelle and the rotor at a certain height. So it's important to pay attention to the tower connections in order to make it strong. We consider this is one of the most customizable components, as well as the nacelle, always in compliance with the requirements. So for closing this little chapter, the challenge scope is always to receive solutions and integrate functionality, aesthetic, innovation, and sustainability into wind turbines. If you can go ahead, please. Now I leave the floor to my colleague talking about what's next and time and further steps. Silvia.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Silvia Livotto, and I'm working in the Wind Innovation Unit. I will give you a recap of next steps, so to highlight them again. So as you know, phase 1 is currently ongoing. and will close the solution collection by June 16th. The solutions should be submitted within the Open Innovability platform. Then, after the expiration date of phase one, Enel will have around 2 weeks to evaluate the solution received and will complete the technical evaluation. Starting from July the 1st, the solutions that have been admitted to phase two can proceed with the project development and submission. And the submission will close by September 29th. At the end of phase two, so after the expiration date, Enel will evaluate all the projects received and the winners will be declared by end of 2025. As already said before, all the solutions, all the proponents that will be admitted to phase two will receive a preliminary prize of 500,000 euros. Sorry, 5,000 euros. And while the winners of phase two will receive different prizes. So the first prize will be 250,000 euros. The second prize will be 150,000 euros. And the third prize, 50,000 euros. There will be also some special rewards, as said before, for specific topics. Now I will leave the word to Sarah for the Q&A session. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Sarah.
Silvia. I can pass the word to
No, don't worry.
Maria.
If you want, you can read the question. It's not a problem.
Okay, okay. I want to thank you all the speakers because also reading your questions, I think that this presentation have been very useful in order to better understand the framework, who can participate, what are the constraints. So I just want to stress that it is very important when you access the challenge, check in the attachment section, but also we have link the technical specification into the challenge description, so you can find it into the regulation. So once you download the regulation, inside the regulation there is the technical specification. Okay, so there you can find all the details, all the constraints for this challenge, all the deliverables. Okay, now we have a few questions. So one, it is about the participation. Okay, we said that we allow the participation in team a maximum of 3. So some participants ask who can participate in the phase 2. Okay, so as you will read in the regulation, so if you are admitted in the phase 2, you will participate with the same team that has been appointed in phase 1. Okay, so into the challenge, into the description, and check all the deliverables, but there into your solution, you have to indicate the people that compose your team, and the same people will participate in the second phase if you will be selected. Okay, and I invite also the other speakers to add any further details. Okay, so interrupt me if you need. Then another question. It's a clarification about the scope of the challenge. So they ask. Are we allowed to propose only new design, or participants can propose new ideas to make wind turbine more technically efficient? So Olga, Silvia, or Eduardo?
Sorry,
you
can you
want to get
repeat?
this?
I didn't get the question.
Can you
Yes,
please?
it is about the scope. They want to know if they can only propose a new design, okay, or if they can propose new ideas to make the wind turbines more efficient.
Well, I will take this. I will take this one. I could say that the efficiency is welcome. Always that the proposals are within the type of turbine and the parameters defined in the slide previously showed by my colleague Olga. So once you are in compliance with the must-have and the things that we don't want to touch, all the ideas are welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Eduardo. And another one, it is about the type of the wind turbine. So they ask if we are open to ideas on other types of wind turbines, for example, vertical axis
When it comes to
turbines.
vertical axis, it's out of the scope of the contest, as the proposals, as we established in the slide number, I don't remember the number now, but must be 3-blade rotor and horizontal axis. And also in a size utility scale, because with this contest, we are aimed at obtaining new ideas for electricity generation through wind in a utility scale. Ideas that can be brought to the kind of turbines that we normally state in our wind plants that today are in the range of 5 to 6 megawatts, and the kind of efficiency that 3-blade rotor and horizontal axis is bringing today. So we are not considering this kind of solutions different to this.
Thank you again. Okay, let's see if we can answer other questions. Of course, for the one that we cannot get now, we will try to answer and collect the answers and get them public on openinnovability.com as anonymous, of course. Um, so another one, it is. What kind um, of deliverables can we upload? So images in JPEG, PDF, or videos. Also here you can find all the details once you will be uploading your proposals, but for sure it is PDF and JPEG and the zip files. And if but there is a limit of 35 mega for the documents that you will upload. So if you need extra space, create an archive online and paste the URL into the description. Okay, as we can have access to that link. Okay, take care, of course, of the availability of that link, that he doesn't have to expires, let's say, before the evaluation phase.
If you want, I can help you, Sarah, because there are other questions. Probably you cannot read in a very easy way. Another one is related to the rule, more or less. No, our rule will be to define a new design or also to propose a proposal related new idea to have more producibility of from the technical point of view, no, to address also the higher producibility of the wind turbine. Eduardo, I don't know if you can.
Yes, I think that we have already answered a very similar question. So every idea is welcome within the conditions of the tender, both in terms of type of turbine and in terms of the elements that can be modified or not, that have been explained in the slides. So I think that everything is welcome within these parameters defined and these boundaries.
Another question is related to the blades. What is possible to modify for the blades, material, section? But I think that, Eduardo, it's clear that in relation to the blades is out of scope, the modification.
Yeah, we are not
right?
considering modifications in the shape or number of blades.
Another one is, do you want a design only in CAD or we need to do a physical model?
On the deliverables, I think that Olga can take the question because
Sí, a ver, in the technical specifications, it is specified initially. We are asking for a CAD or BIM model, and if going to further phases, it is up to us to ask for a modelo, so a little maqueta, modelino.
Scale model.
Scale model.
Gracias.
Okay. Are you interested in solving the problem of fire in the windmills?
It's not the scope of the tender, of the challenge. We appreciate, but it's not the scope.
But we will appreciate ideas that incorporate this kind of features within the design.
It's an add-on, more or less, no?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, could be a plus.
A plus. Can you share a document with current standard of the vertical tower? I don't know if it is inside the technical specification already present. Olga or Eduardo?
Well, I think this is within the regulations that we've included in the contest.
Okay.
I mean the IEC rules and so on and so forth that state what can be considered.
Okay, about the team we already answered.
Yes, I just want to take just a few seconds to show you the challenge page because I read a questions about the documents. So this is the challenge page. If you scroll down, you can read some information. You can or directly go to the attachments, but also from here you can find the link. So, but anyway, it is in the regulation. So you scroll, you find download regulation. Okay, and inside here you will find the technical specification. So first of all, the regulation that you have to accept and the technical specification.
I had some other question. One is if one company has different solution, do we need to make two different proposal or just one? But if the proposal are different, our suggestion is to present two different proposal. No, just one is possible if could be joined the two proposal in only one. But the suggestion is to proceed with two different proposal. What kind of code of rules do you for the functionality? ASME, ANSI, electrical code? I don't know.
Can you move to the slide number because the design standards are defined in the as technical applicable standards in the technical specification are the IEC 61400 and the ACAO aeronautical. This is what we are considering at this point.
Okay. Is a structural analysis of the tower element requested?
Just in case, as it's stated in the technical specifications, for the second phase is requested this structural analysis just in case the design proposed, the solution proposed, interferes with the structural loads of the existing turbine that are provided in the technical specifications. If the solution proposed is only has to do only with aesthetics or shapings or materials, and there are no structural impact, structural calculations won't be required.
Okay. Need some simulation on CFD FEM, or the focus is the design? The simulation probably is an add-on, a plus, I don't know, Eduardo, in this first phase, no? Because the focus is the design, but obviously if you can also produce some simulation, could be an add-on, a plus on the proposal, right, Eduardo?
Right.
Okay. Okay, there is something related to the cost. How much does it cost a VTG, including blades, tower, and generator in average? Moreover, which is the durability of blades today and their cost? How many participants will be admitted to phase 2? We have already given answer about that. But for the first question, I don't know, Eduardo, if we can give some range.
I mean, we can provide a range. However, I don't think it's well. I mean, we can be between 0.8 and 1 million euros per megawatt of installed capacity, but this includes installation and commissioning of the turbine. So for the ex-works, we could be something around 600, 700 thousand euros per megawatt. Maybe that could be a range, but this is approximate. I can't tell that for sure because there are many cases.
Okay, the last, what coatings materials are you interested on?
We are open to new ideas. So
We are open to new ideas and consider that the environmental impact is important for us and the sustainability. So as much as sustainable, integrated, and so on, better evaluated.
Okay, the last question is, can you provide the written answer to all these questions? I think yes, sure. So also if there are some questions that we have not answered today, we will provide you the answer to all questions.
Yes, and I want to remind you that in the at the challenge page at the end, so the final section, it is a contact us. So if you have further doubts, you can write there in the cluster challenge clarification, for example, and the question will go directly to us and to the team. Okay. I think that we have covered all
No,
the. There's another one?
the last one is related to the 3 people mentioned for the team, no? If we means entities or pairs or people. I think, I don't know if Alessandro or, but in general, is no specific person, so it's possible also to participate as an entity.
First,
Do you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Alessandro.
Yeah, hi everyone. So, the important thing that the maximum member of a team is equal to 3. Okay, so the team members can be only 3. Of course, the single member can be part of an architectural firm or an engineering firm. The important thing that is one representative of that firm that is one person, and the other 2 team members can be or a representative of the serve firm or of another firm. I hope this is clarified.
Yes. And you can check in the regulation the paragraph 1.1.1 teams. Okay. No other questions? I see
I
someone
read
that
a
thanks
I,
us.
I read a
Yeah.
question that I would like to take because I think it's important.
Yeah.
I'm not finding it now, but It said that if the design had to be original or can be or could be, does the proposal need to be new? An example, not having been disclosed previously in the past. And this is important to say because according to the regulation, there is a point in the point 4.4 of the regulation, freedom to operate an IP protection, that say that proposed solution is an original work created solely by the participant and does not incorporate any third party's content. So this is important to say that the contents and the proposals must be original.
Thank you, Eduardo. Does anyone wants to add anything else? Okay. Just to remind you that on May 15th, there will be another workshop, also as anticipated. So we will give again an overview of the challenge, but for whom had already participated, we could give we could give some let's say clarification. So not to who to the participant, but in general, if we found something that we understand that has been misunderstood or that needs more clarification, we will deep dive into the second workshop. Okay, so I thank you all very much. So to all the participants and to all the speakers that made all this possible. Thank you very much. I hope to receive a lot of proposals. Bye. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you. Bye bye. Good evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.